Got 3 idiots and 2 fish bowls. Oh my God, I got my hands full this morning. It's kind of a crazy morning, but the sun is finally coming up over the clouds, which is really nice because it's a little bit chilly here. But I'm bursting, taking care of the dogs, and yesterday there were some tarpon on the beach, so I brought my poles today. Now I just see nothing but big waves. Oh well. Oh well. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Everything's intense in life, but in a good way. Helping a lot of people and feels good. I got a little 8-year-old girl that I'm working with now. She's got some anxiety related to sports and life, and some of it's hardwiring. I taught her how to meditate, practice a little mindfulness, like just the beginning, using her breath, just the beginning of learning how to train her mind, which is really cool. Again, we never learn these things, almost never learn these things. It's very invaluable. And I'm just enjoying that aspect of life. And I've got my team, we're working on video production stuff, that's pretty cool. And then I'm golfing later this afternoon, which is fun. I play like once a week, but I really love it. It's just fun to be on a course. My buddy Paymon, I've done a few videos with him. We're playing Abaco and Jupiter, which is a really nice course. It starts to get expensive in the winter, so I'll probably be switching courses. But for now, we're playing today, then we're probably gonna have dinner after. My wife will take an Uber and meet us down, which is cool. And then it looks like we have our meets the shepherd. We got him, had him for 48 hours or so. Our 2 dogs here is plenty. Kuiper is starting to become a pain in the ass at 4.5 months. He was so chill in the beginning, and now all of a sudden the rambunctious side is out full force. Jupiter is just pretty trained. She's a sweetheart. So at this point, that one is easy. But life is pretty good. It's been, I often talk about how challenging it's been, some of the tough decisions I've made, some of what I've gone through on this planet. I had this thing called Kundalini damage, which is really complicated and difficult to explain. I basically wasn't able to sleep for months at a time. Things that even many MDs don't understand, that there's energy that's coiled at the base of the spine, and when irresponsible raise that energy, it can lead to all kinds of negative consequences if your system isn't ready for it. 15 years ago, my system wasn't ready for it, and so I lost my health, my business, my self-esteem, a woman at the time, and most of my assets, and that was pretty devastating. It was my first real 2-year span of sheer destruction and devastation. But it really taught me some of the lessons around honoring myself. It was something I was never particularly good at. I'm just wired as a giver, and I was raised to take care of others at the expense of self. And so now I'm teaching this really healthy balance between self and other. And that's challenging for some people that are wired givers, and for other people that are used to being more about self. That's not going to be their issue in this lifetime. I also said about heartache. My mom stroked out in front of me like 3 years ago, and that was pretty devastating. I was there, I picked her up off the floor. My dad was sort of in some form of shock, and I knew it was over. It was such a serious stroke. It deteriorated from there, and I had a lot of heartache. But I was able to unhook my life and have the courage to travel and explore. I lived in Beijing and Bangkok, and I met my partner, my wife, Chandna, by living, by doing things out of the box, by living in Bangkok. It was really pretty amazing. Beijing was difficult, a lot harder. Learning Chinese where I lived, my buddy at the time, there was almost no one that spoke any English, so it was really difficult to learn Chinese. Oh my God, I only learned a little, enough to sort of get by, manage the taxis. But I was able to hop over to Bangkok and then explore Thailand, and I really fell in love with that country and culture. that's, you know, how I met my wife. The reward of, you know, doing things differently. You know, at the time it wasn't just my mother. I was briefly living with a woman that turned out to be a little bit delusional, so I was extricated myself from that relationship pretty quick because I was older and I didn't want the drama and all the bullshit. And then my dog, 13 years, Tuck, my dog died. So it was all at once, and that's part of the reason why I was able to sort of mix things up and do it differently, get out of the box. And I got massively rewarded for that, right? The courage to do it differently led to me meeting my wife and my life partner. And so I'm always encouraging the kids I coach to mix it up and to do it differently and to get more creative and to get out of the box. And you can't take risk at 20, when are you going to take risk? You know, I took risk at 50, so there are times in life when it's important to play it safe, but, you know, for the most part, we want to live this thing adventurously. That's wherever we go, right? We learn so much more when we're not so buttoned up and conservative, when we actually, you know, have the courage to mix it up and do it differently and get creative, and, you know, that's just an amazing way to live. Hey, I'm Dr. Brett, and as always, if you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. One another morning here. I hope the wind isn't too loud. Take care.